Good day, everyone. Welcome to another video lecture for Intermediate Accounting 3. I am your instructor, Ms. Joselme Salarinos Del Monte. So our topic for this video is all about adjusting and non-adjusting events. So these two, adjusting and non-adjusting events, are the two classifications of events that happens after the reporting period. So what are the events after reporting period? So these are those events, whether favorable or unfavorable, that occur between the end of the reporting period and the date on which the financial statements are authorized for issue. Again, they say events after the reporting period. These are events that happened after the date of the reporting, such as December 31. So it will start on January 1 of the following year. So events that happened starting January 1 of the following year until the date of the financial statements are authorized for issue, such events are considered as events after the reporting period. So again, end of the reporting period, between the end of the reporting period and the financial statements are authorized for issue, or the issuance date of the financial statements. So with that, events after the reporting period, there are two types of events. First is the adjusting events, and the second is non-adjusting events. So adjusting events, these are events after the reporting period that provide evidence of conditions that exist at the end of the reporting period. So when you say adjusting events, these are events that needs to be adjusted because there is an evidence of conditions that already exist at the end of the reporting period. Now, even though that this was only happened after the end of the period, but the conditions, the conditions of that event is already existing at the end of the reporting period. The cause, the condition are evident or existing at the end of the reporting period. While non-adjusting events, these are events that need not to be adjusted, so there's no adjusting entries to be made. It is because these are conditions that, or the conditions, the indicative of the conditions arise after the end of the reporting period. So when the event occurred, after the end of the reporting period, kato lang to siya na hitabo, or the conditions, the cause only happen at the end of the reporting period. Wala na siya, dili na siya pre-existing pa before nag-end ang reporting period. That is why such event should not be adjusted. So examples of adjusting events. So first we have settlement after the reporting period of a court case because it confirms that the entity already had a present obligation at the end of the reporting period. Now, prior sa pag-end or at the end of the reporting period, there was already an existing court case. So meaning, there's already an obligation. There's already a present obligation at the end of the reporting period. However, the settlement of the court case happened after the reporting period. And such settlement already confirms that there's really an obligation. Now, say for example, whatever the amount of estimated obligation nga imong gi-recognize at the end of the reporting period is different from the amount settled, actual settlement that was happened after the reporting period, then kailangan siya i-adjust. Like say for example, if you recognized a liability of 400,000 lang imuhang gi-recognize nga liability. But during the settlement that was happened after the reporting period, ang imuha di ang settlement is 500,000. Of course, 400,000 naman imuhang gi-recognize before as your liability, so you need to adjust. You need to adjust by 100,000. So that is why that event is considered as adjusting event. Take note, there was already an existing court case at the end pa lang sa reporting period. Next is bankruptcy of a customer which occurs after the reporting period. Now, even though that the declaration of the bankruptcy of a customer happened or occurred after the reporting period, still, it was already evident. Okay? Evident na siya at the end of the reporting period nga kanidi ay si customer. There's a condition there that will cause the company, the customer, to go bankrupt. Okay, so pre-existing na ang condition sa bankruptcy sa customer at the end of the reporting period. Galing lang, it was only declared at the end of or after the reporting period. So, mana siya. Considered gihapon siya as adjusting event. Kaya again, existing naman ang conditions of bankruptcy ni customer at the end of the reporting period. Galing lang, it was only declared or it was only announced the bankruptcy at after the reporting period. So, there must be an adjusting entry. Next, discovery of fraud or errors that show the financial statements were incorrect. So, the financial statements dated at the end of the reporting period was found out after the reporting period nga na ay mga fraud, okay, or errors. So, that fraud or errors are already existing on the or at the end of the reporting period. Galing lang, it was only discovered after na. So, kana siya, though the event happens after the reporting period, but the conditions already existed before mag-end ang reporting period or at the end of the reporting period, then there must be an adjusting entry. So, considered siya as an adjusting event. How about non-adjusting events? So, examples of non-adjusting events, again, pag tag non-adjusting events, the conditions of such event, okay, the occurrence of that event was not evident prior sa pag-end sa reporting period or reporting date niya. But again, this were only occurred, okay, after na sa reporting period. So, example, plan to discontinue an operation. So, it was only done, the plan was already done after na sa reporting period. So, kana siya non-adjusting event. Next, destruction of a major product plant by a fire after reporting period. So, kanang mga trahedya, mga casualty losses, okay, sa fire, sa linog, sa bagyo that occurred after the reporting date are considered as non-adjusting events. Okay? Next, major purchase and disposal of assets or expropriation of major assets by the government. Okay, basta ano lang, if there's no existing evidence of these transactions prior to the end of the reporting period, then such events are considered as non-adjusting events. Okay? So, example of adjusting and non-adjusting events. Okay, so let's have the AN company as our sample company. For the year ended December 31, 2007 was completed on March 1, 2008. So, ang audit daw niya was completed on March 1, 2008. The financial statements were signed by the managing director on March 15, 2008 and was approved by the shareholders on March 31, 2008. So, the final say for the approval of the financial statements will be rest on the shareholders. So, sila ang indication nga ang financial statements are authorized for issue. So, the issuance date of the financial statement was March 31, 2008. So, prior to or the events happened prior to that date are considered as events after the reporting period. And dira na nato i-classify if adjusting siya or non-adjusting events. So the following events have occurred during the audit. An entity issued share capital comprised 100,000 ordinary shares with 100 par value. The entity issued additional 25,000 shares on March 1, 2008 at par value. So, the issuance of shares happened after the reporting period and there's no evidence of conditions na nag-occur sa prior sa reporting period niya, prior sa end sa reporting period niya, that there will be issuance of shares. Okay, so ano na gid siya, solely nga nag-occur, nag-arise na siya after nagyod sa reporting period. So considered siya as non-adjusting entry. Okay? Next event, specialized equipment with carrying amount of 525,000 was destroyed by the fire on December 15, 2007. And in effect, the entity recorded a receivable of 400,000 from the insurance entity. So, na sila gi-recognize nga insurance receivable. Okay? That was recognized before the end of the reporting period. So, meaning existing na siya, nga naa siya receivable. Now, after the investigation that happened on February 1, 2008, it was discovered that the fire took place due to negligence of the machine operator. As a result, the insurer's liability was zero to claim. So, ang indication niya, after the investigation, wala gyud di ay amount nga bayaran ang insurance company sa entity kay tungod it was due to the negligence of the machine operator. Now, prior to the end of the reporting period, the entity reported a receivable from the insurance company in the amount of 400,000. But after the investigation, wala gyud di ay sila receivable. So with that, such event is considered as adjusting event. So, kailangan man nato i-adjust from 400,000 into zero. Zero claim na siya. So, meaning, such event is considered as an adjusting event and there must be an adjusting entry. Okay? So, mo na siya ang manner on accounting for adjusting events. So, kailangan siya og adjusting entry. So again, there was already an existing receivable sa prior sa pag-enter at the end of the reporting period, but subsequently there was such changes nga nahitabo. So katong changes or events, kailangan siya og adjusting entry. Okay? So those are the differences between the adjusting events and non-adjusting events. Okay, so you just need to familiarize what are events that are considered non-adjusting and adjusting for you to be able to determine also if there's a need for an adjusting entry. Basta pag adjusting events, there's already an existing conditions, okay, that happened at the end of the reporting period wherein subsequently naalay mga changes niya. Okay? So, moto siya ang adjusting events. While the other, pag walay pre-existing conditions, then considered siya as non-adjusting events. Okay? So, for more understanding, you may refer to the following sources. Okay? So, if you have questions, you may ask also through our group chats. And, please keep posted for another video lecture for our subsequent topics. Now, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have learned a lot from this and I hope that you will master this concept and have a good day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.